Good morning, YouTube. What a great angle, huh? So I got a yabo, uh, and it's cool. It's really neat. So it came from Briarboy, and I wanted to show you my new tamper. Oh wait, there it is. Isn't that cute? Actually, I've learned all kinds of funny things with it. I've been taking it, and oh, it's just so neat, isn't it? I lose my temper. I call them tamper assholes, like the tooth fairy, it's the opposite. Instead of leaving you something, they take it. And so Aaron said, "You'll never lose your temper again." Isn't that neat? You have no idea. I'm thinking, God, why did it take so long for somebody to come up with something like this for me? And I just love, I learned there's other little fun things I was doing with it too. You can take and put it on something and run it underneath it and make it go around your table and stuff too. So it was really kind of, I had more fun with this thing as not a tamper. But anyway, so this morning I just wanted to, and I don't know if he talked to Paul Menard because that's where he got my address from, which was the wrong address. Remember, Paul, I've moved. But that's okay. I had to run Kevin ran to Leavenworth to get it. But watch. Oh, what? You got your tamper. There it is. And what do you do with it when you're done? There you go. I'm in love with this thing. And it's just really a neat piece. I don't know if you can see that it's almost like a, Aaron, did you make these? Because I think I need about 20 more. Well, at least 3 or 4, and some to send to my friends because this is just, like I say, you can set the tamper on the table, and I can lean over on the table, and when I come back up, I have my tamper stuck to my magnet. It's just, and if I'm not putting it there, I can always stick it on the refrigerator, too. I wonder if both of them will sit on the refrigerator just like they are with the necklace around them. But anyway, so Briarboy, that's Aaron. He's been making pipes, a funny thing about Briarboy is and I think I've touched on it with Aaron a couple of times before, but he was one of the first guys I actually talked to outside of the first person I was on the internet with. Let's put it that way, where we were talking over Google. Google had a thing back then where it was almost like a YouTube. You put things on Google, maybe it was a chat or something, and then other people would talk to you on Google, and then YouTube got to be real big. So I kind of got off Google, but that was the first time I had talked to him. He was having a group chat, and I joined in on the group chat. I was still very new to the world out there of pipers in general as far as the internet. And so I kind of tagged up to him, and I just followed along with him, and I just learned everything I needed to know that I wasn't aware of it. And I have to say, you guys have been great about bringing this little old lady along with you, because I was just, oh, I just love my new tamper. I've used it 4 times when I didn't even need to. But really, this is one of Paul's pipes. This is my mate. I have Franny, and then right after I had Franny, a friend of mine died, and Paul sent me a little commemorative pipe. And it's a tomato, and I don't know if you can see how small that is, but look, the tamper even fits into my little bitty pipes. Oh, used the wrong end. That is so wonderful. I have always had such a problem finding small enough tampers to get into my little pipes. And I can find it. Isn't that neat? And nobody knows. But I did learn well, you're playing around with something, you have to try. I did learn something neat, though, that I could take it out without using, I can lose it in there if I'm not careful. But it'll come right back out. I know you see me stashing it in my bra, so we'll talk about women and their bras. Guys have everyday carry, and that's really cute to see them pull this out of their pocket and that out of their pockets and stuff. Well, women have had to carry, for some reason, the designer world thinks that women don't need pockets in their clothes because they want to keep the shape of the woman. So our pockets on half of our jeans are sewed shut. I mean, 50% of the clothes that I have that are good dress clothes have fake pockets on them. There was never a pocket to begin with. It was just a little flap to make it look like a pocket. And I can understand that if you're high fashion or if somebody's actually looking at you. But, most of us just want pockets in our clothes. And I am lucky that I sew. So for years, I've been able to undo a seam, put a pocket in, and so I'm very lucky in that. But so over the years, though, women have learned to use their bras like their everyday carries. And I can't tell you, I can't even begin to tell you the times that I have had all kinds of stuff in here, and no one's ever known because, there's so much room to tuck things in there. I mean, I could carry a machine gun if I actually have at one time carried a gun here because it was easier to reach than the holster, which was down in here, and I didn't want to have to reach into my pocket like that. So I, honest to God, put a loaded 22 right there. Lock was on. I'm not worried about guns. I always know a gun is loaded and the safety is always off. Just if you know that in advance when you pick up a gun, then there's not a problem. But if you assume something that's not true, that's how that happens. I have a gun by every door. There's never. But that's from the old days. The new days here in Parkville. Well, maybe it's because of COVID, but I don't even see anybody other than the people walking once in a while. I live in such a, it's not a gated community, but there is a really expensive Weatherby Lake houses over there, the $1 million houses around the lake and stuff. So I'm kind of like that entryway. I'm where the servants would stay that work for those big houses. But it's such a nice little cul-de-sac, nothing ever going on. All my life, I have lived in the middle of towns, When we lived in Leavenworth, we lived right there downtown, which was wonderful, and I loved it. I did. When I was young, I loved living downtown. I went to the concerts. I went to the bars. I just went out a lot. We had a very busy lifestyle. And then when I moved to Leavenworth, once again, I went right into the thick of things, became part of the city. I owned a shop there. I became entwined into that city, and I loved living downtown. Then when we moved out of the great big house into a little house over off of 18th, it was right by a school. And because I still have a lot to do with kids, and because I'm at the Riverfront Community Center, 50% of the kids knew who I was anyway. So, with the bus stop being right next to my house, there was a lot of times that I would sit out there while waiting on the buses, just as an adult, to sit out there to make sure that we didn't see anything going on. Plus, the kids behaved themselves better knowing that there was an adult watching. There wasn't any little minor bullying and stuff like that. So coming here, to begin with, we came during COVID. We moved the end of March, 1st of April. And COVID was in. We had a horrible time getting movers and stuff because they just kept giving up on us and saying, no, that they didn't need to do that. So, anyway, I was always downtown. I have never been anywhere else. All my life, I guess it's just, natural that you do that. That you live the life that you're leaving. So here, without anybody around, it's been very quiet and stuff. So I don't know. It just kind of seems that, well, I'm packed for the day, so I think I'll get out of here. That's what we do. Of course, sometimes we don't put scissors in there, but I have to go cut some fringe off of a curtain that's kind of fraying, so I needed that in my pocket. There's so many things, though, that like I was saying about, we just get off track very easily, don't we, Sue? I was going to show you in this here pipe the cake. I don't know if you can see it or not. No. I'll have to look at that at a different angle, and I have no idea at what angle the camera would be able to see it. Anyway, it's a little too much cake in there. And, but people are always talking about cake and stuff. Well, this has kept this Savinelli, and I mentioned this. I have to say that I'm betting this Savinelli is, oh gosh, it's one of my dad's. So we know it's, quite a few. It's got a really nice cake in there. and it's got such a protective cake. It is a little big, like I say, at this point, and it's really hard to say. But because this bowl is so big and so deep, and to show you in comparison, because this bowl is so big and so deep, if I didn't have that much cake in that pipe, I wouldn't be able to light this bowl up 3 or 4 times with the intense heat that you just get from a lighter or a match over and over again down in there. So that cake has protected this briar for 40 years, Oh gosh, longer than that. I hate to admit how old I am sometimes and how old some of my pipes are. This was I think it's a Capri or something. I don't know. So where were we? Oh, my new tamper. Isn't that like just ever so neat? And I just love the way I can hide it, but I think I'm going to shorten the thing a little bit and leave it more like that. I haven't decided. I'm so excited. It's like, okay, where can I go to wear it? And I was like, well, I'm going to wear it around the house. That's what I'm going to do. It has a really nice little like silken cord on there. And I might, after I've worn it a while, I'll probably change that over to leather just because if I do this, but you don't have to yank at it. That's what's so nice. You don't even have to yank at it. You can just do a slight tilt and it comes off. I want 100. It's kind of like scissors and lighters. If I don't have, 20 or 30 pair of scissors around, I never can find a pair when I want it. Lighters. If I don't have, 30 lighters, there's never going to be a lighter with the pipe I need it at. But I am pretty good about leaving them in ashtrays when I light my pipes. I know when I was first coming on to the internet, people asked me, how many bowls of tobacco a day do you smoke? And offhand, I had said 12, And man, this is like, once again, in the old days before people knew me, we're talking about, 10, 15 years ago, I guess 12 years ago or so when I started. And they were contradicting me or putting that I don't believe you routine out or something like that. And I got to thinking, well, maybe I don't smoke 12 pipes a day, but I do. Like you smoke a cigarette, if you were a cigarette smoker. Everybody goes and gets a cigarette once an hour. I smoke these little, what I call 7-minute, because cigarettes take about 7 minutes. I call them 7-minute bowls, because that's why I love these little bowls. They take about 7 minutes, which is about the same amount as a cigarette. But I get more caffeine sometimes in a cigarette and sometimes less, depending. But that's all right, because if I'm not getting enough caffeine out of that bowl, I can just reach into my pocket and get out my snuff, which is what I do a lot of times. I'll be smoking and snuffing at the same time. It's not unusual for me to do that. Of course, that's, anybody that tells you I don't have an at-rest time very often. Texas, I did some rest. That was wonderful. Poor Texas. Well, along with smoking my little mate, I'm going to be smoking the Savinelli. I got my Peterson out because I want to clean it. What this is this the anniversary one? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I got a lot of Petersons. I don't really have a lot of Petersons. I had a decent amount of Petersons, but Kevin, he is a Peterson guy, and so every time, a new Peterson comes out, he thinks he needs one. I've explained to him he doesn't need one, as I've bought them for him anyway. But, what he wants. At this point in our lives, if we can't have what we want, we really wasted a lot of time. Jeez. Getting things we didn't want, didn't we? Oh, right, so I'm going to be smoking that one and that one. I already still have, I have a load in my, I am smoking Diamond Joe. I opened up my Diamond Joe today. It's, yesterday actually. It's actually a McClellan's blend that's been down into the bottom of the cabinet for quite a while. It's from 2014. I don't know if you can see that or not. It has been cellared wonderful. And I mean to tell you what, it was so nice. Oh, I caught my skin in between that magnet. It pinched me. Can you see? Oh, well. That'll teach me not to do that, won't it? Um, anyway, it had been cellared well, and so it is just as moist as can be. So it's it's just perfect for smoking, but it's getting old. I don't know if you guys can see the little ball in there, but it's one of those little keep me wet and moist kind of tobaccos. McClellan's was like that. McClellan's had, to me, in my ignorant opinion, apparently, it seemed like it dried out awful fast. But then when you got someone with casings on it, oh, I picked up a different pipe, didn't I? I do that. This one has 965 in it. This one has the Diamond Joe in it. I got some feedback on my last, or some, I don't know if you call it feedback or blowback, when they kind of tell you you're wrong. I was talking about how when in the 80s and the 90s, I didn't buy very much of the Dunhill blends because I just felt like the quality and stuff had gone downhill and things like that. But then a new maker took it over in, gosh, I think 97, 90, right there at the very end of the 90s, a new blender took it over or bought out the other ones, and the quality of the Dunhill brand went up again. So, starting in 1999, 98, I started buying the blends again. Well, man, people didn't like that I said that for 10, 15 years, Dunhill tobacco, was not very good, because they started when I'm talking about it not being good, so they thought it was good when it was at its worst, which is not bad, because Dunhill name needs a quality. They didn't think that I had the right to say that the quality had gone down. But one of them did say that they thought that the quality had come up after, started in 2000 or so. But it's kind of cute when people try to tell you you're wrong and stuff. Well, I got to get going. I should light my candle so that I don't have to keep on using my lighter. I'll use a little bamboo stick now. Oh, and in that my little thing came right in a little bag too, little silk bag. It was kind of cute though. He sent it to the wrong address, and then he had a thing that said he got delivered there. So, kind of funny. US, the post office. We have change of addresses in, and some things come and some things don't. But it seems like all the they must not check addresses or change of addresses on boxes, because they just threw that up there, and we checked and there was a change of address order in. They just missed it. And so I kind of wonder if I've missed other things. I hope not. But I have moved, so if you don't have a Parkville address on it, then it's the wrong address. What else? Isn't that terrible? It's a wonderful day. Going to be all the way up to, I think they said we're going to get to 0 today. They're hoping to break 0. We have had such terrible weather. Cars are seizing up. Heck, the PT, I can't get it to start, and I'm not going to be able to until the weather really changes. Of course, I could call, up somebody and have them come jump it and everything, but the Subaru's doing fine, and I just don't see any reason for worrying about the PT. I don't go anywhere anymore. But I can't wait till you start again. Well, that was about it. I just wanted to show you this my new tamper, my new asshole tamper-resistant tamper. This is not going to get stolen. I say that, but truthfully, pretty soon you guys are going to be seeing me wearing my piece, and I'm going to say, I don't know where the tamper went. That's an idea. I need about, yeah. Isn't this neat, though? I wonder if he hand-tooled that, because that is really a neat piece. And look how well that is set in there. It's just set in there so flush. My fingernails need to be done. I'm so thrilled and honored. I mean, I've not seen anyone else with one of these. So it's kind of and it's purple. So I'm just thrilled. Thank you, Aaron. If you guys haven't subscribed to Briarboy, he's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's really a nice guy. Like I say, he's one of the first guys I actually met up with over the internet, and it's hard to believe that that's been 8 or 9 years ago. So He was brand new starting out, and I was new to the pipe community. I had been on YouTube, but I had done instructional YouTubes for medical things, and so I hadn't ever done, just here's what's fun, no written script, not at a certain, when you're doing an instructional video, you're gauging it for a certain person or a certain thing, and with YouTube you could just talk about anything. Well, and here's what I want to give a shout out to all of my friends that are getting snow that have never had snow. Welcome to our world. I've always loved Kansas because it was the weather changed. I love weather changing. I like having a summer, and I like having spring, and I like having fall here in Kansas. But now it's Missouri because I just crossed over the river. We have 2 weeks of perfect weather in the spring. However, you don't know you had it until it was gone. There's no way of knowing when those 2 weeks are going to be. And in the fall, it's the same way. We have 2 weeks of absolutely perfect weather. Everything is just wonderful. The trees have changed, and life is good. However, you don't know when those 2 weeks are until they're over, because you might think, oh, this is going into the 2 weeks, and then 3 days later you have a rainstorm, or snow in October. So we do have perfect weather here. I'm not really sure. You can't predict when that's going to be. So, you have to be careful. I need some. The weather is killing my lips too, man. You guys have a good day. Happy, joy. I'm watching you. Even if I don't leave a message, that doesn't mean I didn't like you. I always hit that like button. But sometimes, or the thumbs up, but sometimes I just, sometimes do you, I used to add HHJJ, happy, joy, just go into the comment and put happy, joy, and then go back out. But then I got to thinking, well, that's kind of rude, because the newbies, they don't know about happy, joy, happy, joy. I'll teach your grandmother to sing it. Anyway, so one of these days, I guess I should back up and include my happy, joy song. That's from Ren and Stimpy, happy, joy. And, gosh, anything else? If you find something you want me to talk about, all you can do is just tell me. I have some old stories. I guess I'll start telling some more old stories again. But I just always feel like you guys have already heard them, I loved, I was thinking about talking about Portugal. And we went to Portugal, and the sea, swimming in the sea as a kid, and having things, cling to you out there in the sea, it was just wonderful. I love water, but Portugal, whenever I think back to where I would want to go, I'd like to say Portugal. Now I understand that they're really having a hard time with COVID and stuff, and that, I don't know. I don't think I could ever live anywhere besides the United States, but boy, wouldn't it be fun to go visit again? I'm not going to travel no more. I traveled at the best time of my life, for the last 20 years, I would say. Now I've gone on cruises and stuff, and I have taken and went to, say in the last 20 years I haven't traveled, but I did. Went to Ireland, and back. We went to Rome to see the Pope, but the Pope was too sick, so we went to Ireland. Kevin's birth parents are in Ireland. However, that was not a good thing, because they didn't want to see him, or she didn't. So, because nobody, he was adopted, and I guess everybody didn't know that she was pregnant. She was very, very young, from what I understand. So, when he came to America, although we did keep in touch with her, because we looked her up, Kevin and I looked her up after we were married the first time, and we corresponded with her a little bit, but basically it was, nobody knew about him, and she had a whole family, a new life, and he had to respect that, she, you have to do that. When you're adopted, I think you go through life looking for something that you might not ever find. And the reason I say that is because when I was 11, I lost my sister. And I think that sometimes when I'm really lonely or when I'm having a down day, I kind of wonder if there's that hole that's been left in me that I'm still searching for. Went to a psychiatrist and all that kind of stuff, and basically it's you make your own life. And I do. So, my God, this was a long video. I hope people just listen to the first part. Happy, happy, joy, joy, you know I'm watching you.